It's my birthday! It's not my birthday, but it is Lizzie Bennett and Charlotte Lou's birthday. So we're going to celebrate. We are getting Chinese food for everyone! Go to your door right now. Go, check. There's Chinese food waiting for you. Just kidding. That's obviously a lie. I don't know where you live. I know where some of my patrons live. Check out the Patreon. That's because sometimes I mail them stuff. In addition to extended versions of every episode's patrons also get Q&A episodes in which I watch the Lizzie Bennett Diaries Q&A and also answer some of their questions. And the final Q&A is going to be live on Thursday, March 23rd. Patreon exclusive. Check it out. My name is Ashley Clements, and these are the Look Back Diaries. Happy Look Back Diaries. Happy Look Back Diaries. That's the birthday song. It's finally in the public domain. Sharing a birthday can be hard. You know, Lizzie's already a middle child. She needs to feel special. But when your bestie is as great as Charlotte is, could be pretty fun to get to celebrate together. I remember fans asking, when's Lizzie's birthday? At least since we made Lydia's birthday a plot point. I don't remember whether or not they were asking before that, but I feel like for a while, because I then asked, yeah, are we going to do something with Lizzie's birthday? It's kind of weird if we don't acknowledge it, because if you had a vlog that you put out twice a week about your life, wouldn't you include your birthday? Mine's in April. But I do remember thinking when I got like the second to last batch of episodes, I was like, we're really not giving Lizzie a birthday. And then, you know, we gave her such a birthday present. Ooh! When I'm wishing people happy birthday, I often say, I hope you feel loved today. And that is what Lizzie got, starting with Charlotte. Let's take a look at the super bestie here to super support her bestie, even though it's also her birthday. Okay, so first of all, we can already see this crazy extra amount of headroom. My frame in the last episode was about, if you look down here, was much closer with my head to top of frame. Now I'm down here, and we had to do that even though this episode is just me and Charlotte, because we didn't want the camera to move between 97 and 98 because they were meant to look like they were shot all at the exact same time, which, to be fair, they were. So all of this headroom is in anticipation of the fact that 6 foot tall whatever DVG is gonna come sit in frame eventually, but Julia Cho is even shorter than I am, so it's just funny that we had this all set up for someone who's not in this episode. I will also do everyone's favorite thing, which is where I comment on the makeup, which is a lot, because I specifically said, like, well, it's my birthday, and obviously it's the Darcy episode. The hair is pinned back so that we'd be able to see the kiss, and all that makeup, which is definitely too much. I was like, make me pretty, and also no lip because of the kissing.
Not what you were expecting, right?
We sure were trolls. Yep. I mean, Kate did the same Darcy reveal with episode 60. So it's our birthday. We have won. It's not our birthdays. It's our birthday. I love that the idea was that maybe maybe Darcy had shown up on the doorstep, and it's Charlotte. Honestly, better, maybe. Oh, maybe not. What? Equally good. Right. This is where we comment on with what we. I feel like that's something that we genuinely figured out in rehearsals.
You needed the distraction. I don't need distraction. Oh yeah? You want to show the lovely people your internet browser history?
No, no one wants to share their internet browser history. Lizzie is just like, I'm not going to feel weird about the fact that that person is absolutely not calling me back. And good for her. Good for her for not moping around. She's like, it's fine. I don't care. Oh, every time we talked about the business that we talked in such a vague way, just kind of makes me roll my eyes. I'm like, what is actually the company? How? It's so vague. That's very extreme. The diaries are just 1 year of your life, although at this point, I guess she hasn't officially decided to stop. I don't want to talk about it. It's a great line. Oh, that's so true. Everybody else, they cried. Many cries. It's my birth. It's her birthday, Charlotte. Why are you being so hard on me?
Am I disappointed that I didn't hear from Darcy? Yes.
Oh, we're being all vulnerable.
Why I expected to hear from him. I have no reason.
Oh, come on. Because first of all, it's just rude not to call somebody back. Like, that's just sort of basic stuff. And obviously he has some interest. I mean, we obviously did the thing very specifically because of the timing of our episodes, but if you called somebody, well, I guess she did just say she wanted to chat. So maybe 3 days isn't that bad, but he knows the stakes. She knows the stakes. He could have watched episode 96. I know we wrote it in that he needed to like think because the travel would not be far. We're going from California to California. There's no part of California you can't get to within a day. It's a very big state, and even then, you can drive the length of the whole thing in about 12 hours. And they're not actually nearly that far apart. But oh, we have to support the friend. Although wherever made up town they are has an airport because that's Darcy said he was going to drive her to the airport. It doesn't really make any sense. Like, I grew up in the Bay Area. I would have driven anywhere that I was going, but I guess she didn't have a car, so there's that. Fine. That was definitely like Bernie's favorite Chinese food. He was very, and a good person to be the authority on it, but he was like, it's definitely honey walnut shrimp. And I was like, I don't even think I've ever had honey walnut shrimp. It just wasn't my Chinese order growing up. But it meant a lot to certain people. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, you're only 24, sweetheart. You're gonna need a lot more second chances. What? I, th I thought you were Chinese. No, we'll do that next time. Oh, cute. You know, no one wants to be doing like wallowing on your birthday, but it's also really nice if your best friend shows up with ice cream and movies and whatever she said that I talked over and was like, hey, I'm here. And here's Lizzie being like, I don't need to wallow. And then she gets her to be vulnerable and share anyway. And the way she looks at the camera, I mean, it's me, but you know, the way Ashley playing Lizzie looks at the camera feels very like, if you're watching, I'm sad, but I'm okay. And I guess you don't want to talk to me. I used up all my chances. I mean, her second chance was Pemberley, right? And she didn't mess it up. She had an emergency. At any rate, I think it's going to work out. Also, just Kate Rorick, Darcy Torso, trademark for you. But yeah, I assume in the writer's room they were very tickled by the idea of repeating the same tease. It's literally the exact same structural thing as episode 60. He comes in at the end. We do the split into 2 episodes, and I start the next episode as I started episode 60 with an intro that was clearly filmed later. It's cute, it's fun. We were expert trolls and we just delighted in what we were doing because we knew it was sort of, Darcy Day 2.0, but that it was going to end very differently. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Did I wear green because her birthday's on St. Patrick's Day? Heck yeah, I did. People always ask about this top. They think it's a dress. It's a top. Peplums were very in at the time. So when I stand up and it flares out a little bit, that's not like a whole dress. It's a peplum, okay? But also, you can't tell. So if it is a dress in your mind, who can stop you? The thought police? Sometimes people would ask me for specifics about what I was wearing off camera, like on my feet, because they were making fan art. And I was like, whatever you imagine I'm wearing. If you can't see it, it's not canon. I like that this episode, in addition to setting up Darcy, that's obviously important. We get some more of that like super good bestie stuff. It's what Margaret was talking about how important these female friendships are and how in many ways they are the love story as much as, if not more than, Lizzie and Darcy. And here's a really good best friend showing up when Lizzie really needs a best friend. And even though it's her birthday, she's just gonna like tiptoe on out. One hopes she might also be like texting Jane, "They're kissing." It's super important. And what's obviously super important is episode 98, which is why DVG will be here in the next episode. And it's super cute. We're really cute together. Did you know that? Let's check in with you and take a look at those comments. Sophie Hatter-LaFay. Everyone always focuses on Darcy, but can I just point out Charlotte decided to travel all the way back home to spend her birthday with her depressed friend. It was also her birthday, and she spent it cheering up a friend. Yeah, that's right, Sophie. That's what I'm talking about. Miriam, Killian, let's all thank Charlotte for saying nothing to warn Lizzie. Think about it. She answers the door, sees that it's Darcy, and it's like, she's in the den, have fun. I don't think I ever thought about that. That's a really great point. I love that. She's like, okay, I'll see myself out. You go do this. Or perhaps more likely, listened intently at the door. I don't know. I feel like Charlotte wants to know, but also like maybe wouldn't stoop to that level. At least she knows the camera's on. Megan RMZ, that must be dinner. You bet, Darcy, is what's on the menu tonight. Oh, so many points, Megan. So many points. Sammy, Romy, I absolutely love how Darcy always opens up with, "Excuse me, Lizzie." Well, he's very polite. Just Molly. Can you imagine Charlotte at the door, hands on her hips, slightly shaking her head? Took you long enough. Yes, I can. I can. Thanks, Just Molly. Lizzie, second chances are important. I think I used all mine up. Darcy, marching in the den. Third time's a charm, Lizzie. Third time's a charm. Y'all are funny. That's my job. Catherine, it doesn't take 3 days to return a phone call. You clearly haven't met me. That is another extremely good point. That, like, there's definitely some social anxiety here. All Lizzie said was that she wanted to chat. I mean, frankly, the fact that she said she wanted to chat and he showed up at her door is kind of insane. I mean, it's confident. Maybe it's also just the understanding of like, we can't really have this conversation on the phone. But also, like, if he took some time to maybe sort of panic and work up the nerve and not know what to do, and that's fair, that's justifiable. We know he's not the most socially comfortable. Oh yeah, and one final incentive to join us over on the Patreon. I thought so much about the culmination of Lizzie's journey and all of this Darcy stuff, but I knew that I had to shoot this episode out of order. I knew that it was going to be a long day, and just in thinking about how to gear up and prepare, I made a playlist that I called the Dizzy playlist that for me was kind of like 40 minutes of taking Lizzie on the emotional journey that she was going through in her thinking process around Darcy in this batch of episodes, because she is not always saying what she is thinking and feeling. and I wanted to just give myself a shortcut way to tap into that because some songs can just really kind of take you straight to a state of mind or an emotion. I've used them before as an actor, but because our shooting schedule, unlike any other shooting schedule, really didn't have a lot of downtime, I knew I wasn't going to be able to listen to anything while I was on set throughout the day. So I just wanted to kind of have primed myself and taken myself on the journey, the conflict, the hope, the despair, the love. And so yeah, I made a mixtape. And I remember that I listened to it on the way to set. And anyway, I'm sharing it with my patrons.